One thing not in either of these plans is the lift on the salt cap tax. It's something that a lot of blue states, especially on the coast, but also in Chicago, have really raised concerns about. They feel like they are being unduly punished versus taxpayers in other states by having a cap on what they can deduct for those state and local taxes. How do you come down on that? I mean, it's something that would make it much more difficult to pay for all of these other initiatives you just discussed if that cap is lifted.
Look, we have to look for ways of paying for this. And this isn't a matter of punishment. This is a matter of what are the best public policies that enable us to raise the money that we need to invest in our future. And so, again, the president has said he's more than willing to listen. He does not want to have any disproportionate impact on people who can't bear the responsibility. But he also does not want to just tread water with the status quo, because if we do that, we are falling behind. And so, yes, every single tax has a policy behind it. And as he has said, they're all negotiable. He is not trying to punish anyone. He's trying to fight on behalf of the American people and American businesses so that we are more competitive.
Hey, Valerie, I've got two questions for you, and I've been debating this on Twitter with a couple of folks this morning. There's no mention in the plan on the tax front, this is, to deal with carried interest, something that the Biden administration has long talked about during the campaign and the like. It does get taken care of effectively if, in fact, the capital gains rate over $1 million does go up and match effectively ordinary income. But given that there's a view that the capital gains rate may not get there based on what the Senate and Congress may do, I'm curious whether you think that becomes a negotiating point later on in the conversation if, in fact, those rates are not the same.
Right. Well, I'm not going to get out ahead of these negotiations and try to, predict what might be happening in the future. I think what's important is his willingness to negotiate, his willingness to listen to folks on both sides of the aisle, his willingness to listen to business and engage both large and small businesses in this process, and to look at it through the lens of what's going to help us over the long term. And I think for far too long in Washington, we have seen Congress basically not want to make hard decisions, not wanting to have any of the special interests annoyed with them. And we have put off essential investment. And so are there going to be some people who might be a little unhappy in the short term? Inevitably, whenever you talk about raising taxes, that's going to happen. But the question is, does this position the United States, our businesses, small, medium, and large, to compete more effectively going forward? And is it fair? And are we putting a disproportionate burden on those who can least afford it? I think that's the lens through which President Biden is being guided. And I think it's why he's enjoying so much popularity around the country, is that people know he's focusing on them.
Valerie, on a related point, though, one of the things that's unique about this moment is that the administration is framing the tax increases as effectively pay-fors. As you said, he says he doesn't want to, quote unquote, punish people for making money. The question I would have for you, though, is what happens, and I imagine this is going to happen, the proposals to spend are going to come down because there's going to be pressure from Republicans and possibly even Democrats. And then the question is there going to be pressure on increasing tax rates in the same way?
Well, look, there are only so many ways that you can pay for this investment. You can raise taxes, or you can add to our debt. I mean, or you can cut programs. And I think in this environment with so many Americans depending on our safety net, this is not the time to start thinking about cutting and further eroding their ability to stay afloat. And so there are only so many options available. And I think the magic sauce is figuring out how to get it just right. And again, it's a matter of figuring out how to get enough votes to pass something that will position us for the future. And so that's the lens. And I'm not in the room where they're negotiating the individual pay-fors, as you call them, which is what they are. But I do know that they're looking at it through this lens of, are we adding to our competitiveness, or are we hurting ourselves? Are we helping American families, or are we not? And that will guide the decision-making.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.